Insta-stun silence is the thing, though.
Here we go. Mind Control gets the good call in there. We'll go in on to Burning, but he gets the chance to raise the silence onto 2, and now the turnaround from IG. They'll take down 1. Mind Control will get out.
That's
Maybe we would have seen the same happen even if he got the first blink call.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the thing. If Rubik can follow it up with a telekinesis and a Fate Bolt for some extra damage to set up the call, it's great. But Rubik gets insta-stunned, insta-silence. Rubik doesn't get spells off there is the problem. So without that, there's no real way to get that kill. But Boca, perfect map awareness in the right spot. He's well known for this Earth Spirit with good reason. He's kind of under level 2, level 4 only, but he's definitely achieved a lot. He's the one who's been constantly moving around the map, made those ganks at bottom lane. He's been just getting his team a lot of good scouting information. And we'll scout a couple more heroes. Gets, nice blink, blocks the roll.
Control getting the setup. Okay, he has got backup on the way, so Mind Control and Croaky have to be a little bit careful. Silence, and then the RP. Oh my goodness, XXS. Not a lot of love for the Phoenix there as he brings him down. And in return, GH RPing the RP at XXS with the skewer back, but Mind Control's got the call, as they will be able to take down the Magnus and find their favorable trade there, as indeed GH, at the end of the day, with the better RP.
Magnus was looking for the 2-man, but couldn't quite get the second hero, only caught Phoenix, so not the end of the world for IG, who still managed to push down that bottom tier 1 tower. They're really starting to press forward now. Lifesteal is getting involved, so we see Burning come online.
We've got a replay here of the broken blink, as we see there. Mind Control. There we have it. There we have it. Poor old Mind Control. Yeah. But as we were saying, it probably wouldn't have made a difference.
No, it was a bait to begin with. We'll see what the next moves are going to be. I think IG at this point are going to be the aggressors. They're versing a very greedy Liquid Draft with Alchemist Medusa together. They've got the boots of travel, they've got the Infest bombs, and they can start finding these pickoffs. Burning is well and truly ready to start fighting. He doesn't want to farm anymore now that he's got his Midas armlet up.
Yeah, for sure. And if he can continue to find fights like this, it's going to be impressive to see him keep this close to Miracle's Alchemist, who did obviously die a couple of times in lane, but other than that, did get free farm. Yeah. So
I think it's really hard to play this Axe now for Mind Control, because typically you get this Blink Dagger as your first item. You want to go around, start using some smokes, find some pickoffs, but you've got 2 cores that can't really do a whole lot with you. Medusa and Alchemist both want to farm. Even your supports, Phoenix, Rubik aren't really supports that pair up great with an Axe for ganking in terms of damage output. GH potentially with like a good stolen spell for some extra damage, like a Shockwave or a Tinker Laser could, but you think Axe Blink Call and you want to have like a follow-up, like an Invoker Sunstrike, some nice nukes coming out. There's very little coming out from Liquid's team to partner with this Axe Blink.
Trying to get Miracle involved in the fights here. Throw the stun out onto the Lina, turns towards Burning. Burning! Rips down GH, and the Supernova Stone Gaze combo coming in from the back lines. But Tumberman, he's caught XXS, who will skewer away back in time. And Q, with the stun, holds back a second. So at the end of the day, that was a fight that GH looked to kick off there with the telekinesis opening, and Miracle wanted to join in, but Burning, he just walked in and he walked out and got the kills.
It was a good, you can see where the Synergy and Liquid's draft is there with that Supernova Stone Gaze at mid. They came very close to getting a couple key kills on the Magnus especially, but they were just a little bit short. They lacked that extra bit of damage output. Their supports have some great teamfight presence when you look at spells like Supernova, the Fire Spirits, the Sunray, but they don't have that good way to finish off these kills. And that's something which Liquid are kind of struggling for right now. They don't really fight all that well. Even with these big ultimates, like they have teamfight presence. They lack that teamfight damage until they get more farm. Until they have Miracle with Radiance, Manta Star, Octarine. He needs to get big on this Alchemist before Liquid are kind of ready to go.
Look at this XXS as well. Queuing up a Midas for himself after the blink.
Yeah, they can play the greed game. It's not like Liquid's draft is greedy, but it's not like you automatically lose if it goes late. I don't look at IG's draft like it's going to necessarily fall off. As much as Lifesteal not really a hero you want to always go too late in the game with, he's got Empower this game, he's got good vehicles, he won't get kited as badly because the Tinker's going to ultimately probably have like a Blink Hex, so he can help control the Alchemist, the Medusa. He's got like the Magnus who's going to have, ultimately, if it goes super late, refreshes. So I don't think IG have to be too worried about ending this game fast, despite there being an Alchemist Medusa. If anything, they can look at this game like, we've actually slowed down the Alchemist farm enough that we can play at our own pace, a pace that suits IG.
Liquid, of course, they'd love to catch out OP. They've got eyes on him, so he's very close to the Blink Dagger. Mind Control with the initiation. TP's coming through, though. The spins weren't there. Mind Control, he nearly ends up going down to the tower here. They'll chase forward, trying to find him. XXS goes forward with the skewer and the Shockwave. finds the kill. Matumaman, he already used the Stone Gaze. He's now on the run out, but Baboka on the chase, and with Burning coming in from the sidelines. Matumaman now caught without the ultimate. He'll go down as well. And IG reacting to Liquid's attempt to make something happen on that top lane absolutely perfectly. I mean, Mind Control jumps in under the tower, but there just wasn't any follow-up.
Yeah. It's one of those games where it feels like as much as you don't want to go greedy on your offlaner as well as your two cores, it's like this blink timing comes and then you don't have great ways to use it. Like it's one of those things where often as like an axe in these kind of games, you want to go for like maybe a Vanguard first or something just to tank up, because if you get the blink too fast and your team aren't ready to gank with the blink dagger, it doesn't offer a whole lot. And that's what it feels like has happened for Liquid, where they've got this blink, they're trying to make these smoke moves, but outside of perhaps committing, like bringing the Deuce and Phoenix, which I guess is the idea, so you have those big ultimates, it's very hard to actually take fights and find pickoffs. Axe is kind of like the pickoff catch hero, but you don't have any good gankers to go with him. You have team fighters, so I think Liquid are kind of trying to team fight without the actual farm to back it up. Like a Medusa with a Perseverance, phase boots, and some small items like Aquila Wand is not going to offer a whole lot.
And IG certainly with a peak of fighting power at this stage in comparison to what Liquid have. OP, that blink now of course complete thanks to surviving that top gank attempt. Talking about gank attempts, Matumaman is being eyed up by IG. Straight in they go, the four of them, with a Laguna Blade from Q. They bring down the Medusa. Pretty much the second time there in 2 minutes of gameplay. 11 for free. IG certainly seeming to have a good strong control on this game.
Yeah, they're finding these nice rotations. They've found like just the right amount. I talked about them fighting greed with greed, going for the Midases, having this very passive early game. They recognize that, okay, the first 10 minutes we got everything we needed to with our kind of farming style. Now it's time to kind of up the ante, go for these kills, put the pressure on, don't let Medusa hit her item timings. As long as one of the cores of Liquid's being shut down, you're in a pretty good spot. Alchemist, yeah, he's starting to pull ahead, but Medusa's in a really poor stage. Alternatively, if you're killing the Alchemist while Medusa gets a bit of farm, you're okay with that as well, because IG are farming across 3 cores. They're finding kills on one of the key Liquid heroes, and it doesn't feel like Alchemist can carry this game alone. You need both Alchemist and Medusa to get farm right now.
They will fortify, but Liquid not looking to do anything here.
Deso, he's partway to his Assault Cuirass, close to halfway there. They can take Roshan fairly soon. IG are doing a very good job of making sure they secure objectives and not just play this greedy style, which Liquid are doing.
Absolutely massive. And again, just in comparison to Miracle, he's now starting to break away a little more thanks to that Radiance completion. But Burning definitely is not going to be too upset with the position he is in comparison.
Yeah, I mean, for an Alchemist game, you want to be pulling ahead probably 5 or 10 minutes ago. This is kind of too late for the Alchemist to start pulling ahead. He's probably going to start pulling ahead even more unless he gets ganked a bit. Or maybe if IG like take Roshan some racks, that's where you start getting a massive influx of cash. But it's not a concern. Like, that's not a lead at all for Miracle. He needs to be like 5k net worth ahead of the Lifestealer to be able to fight the Lifestealer. And that's just not the case right now. There's such good lockdown and control in the fight with the Earth Spirit, the Magnus, even stuff like the Open Wounds that can make it really tough for Miracle. Perhaps the Mantle will help a little bit getting out of some of those spells like the Open Wounds, but it's not going to be a full solution for him. And then once you finally feel like you're tanky enough and found enough to fight the Lifestealer, well, then there's a Tinker to worry about. He's going to have an Aghanim Scepter, so like hitting laser on you and all your Manta Illusions as well as your teammates, like you're just going to get wrecked by this AoE laser and the heat-seeking missiles as well.
Another tower for IG as they push on down the bottom. At the same time, they do get the trade up top, Liquid, as they themselves starting to put some pressure around. There will be a scan around the pit from IG just to check if Liquid were trying to eye up a sneaky Roshan. That's not the case. They'll keep themselves back. I mean, IG themselves, do you think is it just too risky really in this kind of a game to look for Roshan whilst the entire enemy's alive? I mean, they'll smoke up. Surely this is going to be a smoke and a kill attempt before a Rosh.
Pick then Rosh.
Yeah.
If you go into Rosh, you're kind of setting yourselves up to be defeated. Well, you feel like you're doing better. You're finding the key kills. You're taking objectives. I think IG recognize that they're in the advantageous position. Putting yourselves in the Roshan pit against Stonegaze and Supernova is a good way to kind of throw away that lead. So they'll play it safe. Just go for the pick off, go for the key kill, and they'll. Ooh, will they find it?
And they hunt him down in the tree line immediately with the TP out. Boca, he goes for the blind boulder smash. Won't be able to hit it off though, as Mind Control is out along with the rest of his teammates.
They could still theoretically Rosh now. They see Alchemist bottom. They likely know we TP down there as well as multiple TPs out, but still, again, it's slightly risky approach, even when you see heroes TPing bottom. Second Miracle shows himself, he kind of goes missing. So I think ideally they want to find a pick-off before they get themselves into that Roche pit. Otherwise, they're going to have to position very carefully. And if not a pick-off, then at least get Tinker's Ag Scepter, which is a couple hundred gold away from completion. No real good catch for the Tinker. This is where this fourth pick Tinker, right when they saw Medusa, is really effective as well. It's not just one of OP's best heroes. It really fits the game as a good counter pick for the Medusa in the mid lane against a lineup that really struggles to find the Tinker and pick him off. And as mentioned, once he gets his Ag Scepter, they are in the Roshan pit. So Tinker likely to come and lay down some match should any kind of a Roche contest happen. But they see Miracle bottom, and I think without Alchemist there, they feel pretty safe about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you said, you know, Liquid do have this great Roshan team fight, but it's not going to be any use if they're not prepared for it. And I think there's also the chance that they do just not want to. They respect how strong IG has got at this point of the game.
Yeah, if you have no vision around there, they have good vision around the area, but even I don't think they saw them go into the pit. It's to like the north of the Roche pit to the south. If you go in kind of blind into IG's wards there, and they even have a sentry, the IG is going to get the jump on you, and so much of this game comes down to whether the Axe can initiate before like the Magnus or the Earth Spirit do, because the Life Stealer and Fest Bomb will instantly delete one hero, and if that happens to like a core hero, the fight's lost for Liquid. They want to try to get the Axe jump onto an Earth Spirit or someone before they get jumped themselves.
And it really seems like it's one of those games as well that it's kind of rare for Liquid, where Matuma Man, he's just really struggled to hit it off in the farm. I mean, we're seeing his farm nearly being matched by Mind Control's Axe, and Mind Control himself, he's been having a tough time finding kills. I mean, granted, he's been doing a lot of farming himself in the jungle and such early on, but this Medusa's still not in the position it needs to be, and it feels like this game, a lot of weight is on Miracle. He has got the farm, he is hitting the timings now on the Alchemist. They need him to prolong this game. Yeah, they need him to buy the space and create the time that Liquid need to get online.
He's skipping waves here, knowing that there's push coming mid.
I wondered if he was going to go for that, but I guess not got the movement speed.
Doing as much as possible, leaving just a few low HP creeps, which he probably assumes his Rubik or someone can clear with a Fade Bolt. And IG were ready to go high ground. If you don't make that play there where you creep skip the wave, they take the tier 3 tower with Rage. It's this casual slow siege, something that, I mean, you go way back to like TI2 era. This is what the Chinese teams were doing with Lifestealer back then. You go on the high ground, you Rage. Rage is a second away from wearing off, you back off. It's just slow, steady. There's no real counterplay unless you've got a good BKB piercing like initiation. Even then, it's a Lifesteal with an Aegis. So if you waste like a big ultimate on that, like an Axe, or even your Axe goes in to call a Lifestealer, Axe is going to die. And best case scenario, you take an Aegis and you've lost like 2 or 3 heroes. So slow, steady siege is coming. This time the creep wave has not been skipped, and IG are ready for round 2 at this tier 3 tower.
And let's see what Liquid can do to hold off. They've got good high ground potential. IG with burning on the front lines, being empowered up. They've got damage, they've got sustain, but at the same time, Liquid do have ways to counteract it. Mind Control will jump in, start to bring burning back.
Trying to waste the rage. That's good play from Mind Control. The second he rages, he just wants to hit the tower for 2 or 3 seconds, then back off, and he makes sure that burning doesn't get any damage on the tower, because if you don't do anything to respond, he will slowly take your base, and this will push IG back a little bit.
Ooh, smoke from Liquid. Are they going to come out? Okay. It looks like they are. They want to try and catch IG before they go for that next high ground push. And they might just do it. I mean, again, just on the sidelines, you can see Matuma Man and Mind Control. They're coming out of the south of the base.
Very tough. You really need to catch like an Earth Spirit or a Magnus, one of the key team fight controlling heroes.
Yeah, it's all about Mind Control's call. He is their initiation, and he needs to hit it perfectly.
And they look for Baboka here. Kuro in the front is going to drop a ward with the sentry.
They see it. Can Liquid find that jump? OP's coming back in. Burning back on towards the tower.
Big resmoke.
That's going to be the tower down. Burning looking towards Miracle. There's the jump in. Gets one. He will catch the Earth Spirit immediately coming into the middle with the Supernova, and that will cause IG to spread. The Stone Gaze is out as well, meaning that IG have got to seriously think about fighting back into this one. Now that the ults are down, maybe, but they've lost an Earth Spirit. Burning will turn towards Kuroki, but immediately out with the dive. Miracle again, just cutting the creeps, trying to destroy this push. He's been RP'd. Q's there with a follow-up stun. The Laguna Blade that slashes from Burning him as he rips him down.
It was a nice attempt. Like IG were so good at responding to that. The second they saw that dive in with the Skura just supernovaed in the middle of 5 heroes, knowing that the Stone Gaze would protect them, and IG didn't try and kill it. They just split. They 5-man ran away from the egg and left the Earth Spirit to die, but they even killed the Axe before Earth Spirit even went down. Axe was dead. Miracle came close to getting the Tinker, but once Tinker TP'd home, healed himself up, things were not looking good for him.
And we'll pop the Aegis. And as we did see that, we saw the effectiveness of Miracle cutting the creep wave. I mean, this is the first creep wave coming in post that fight. It did slow down the siege. Mind controls in again with the call, trying to rip Burning away from the racks whilst he's raged up. They're doing their best to slow it. They don't want to buy back, it looks like, on Miracle. They want to wait that 20 seconds. And indeed, Liquid, they may just accept that this Rax is gone.
Yeah, probably
or
better.
At least the melee, at least.
Yeah, give up the Rax rather than use the Alk buy. But
Yeah.
use the Alk buyback, he dies again, it's game over. Even if he doesn't die again, it slows down his Octarine timing by such a big margin that it's not really, it's better off you lose a Rax. Like, losing one melee Rax is not a massive problem for a lineup with a Medusa and an Alchemist, so they can play down a melee Rax. They were going to lose their shrines anyways once that tier 3 was down, so we'll probably see IG regroup, take down some of these shrines a bit, wait for the next Roshan before going for another high ground push. Very kind of methodical play coming out from the Invictus gaming team, and Liquid are going to have to get whatever items they can get as soon as possible. Medusa only now has a Lincoln Sphere, trying to get a Yasha to go with it. Matu, as we kind of highlighted, has really struggled to find farm this game.
Yeah.
Just not being a very mobile hero. That's where Axe was actually managed to get farm. He can like push out lanes, has the blink kind of to escape any rotations coming his way. Medusa, very slow, sluggish, not very mobile, and if caught out, you're kind of just dead. Even with the Stone Gaze TP kind of play, there's enough disables from IG that you don't really have the ability to farm in risky places on the map.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of elements of Liquid have just not kicked it off this game. I mean, also looking towards Croaky, he's just really, he's struggled to find the levels on this Phoenix. You know, he's still quite far behind in terms of what he can offer. He's only got that level 1 Supernova.
That's a, yeah,
and
that's
he's still just level 8 at 28 minutes. It's a little slow for this Phoenix.
Burning gets a heart now, so he's super tanky.
Oh, they've got the ward on. The Max XS sees them. He'll only get 2. He won't get
Stolen
GH. And now GH comes back in. But it doesn't matter, gods.
Really doesn't. Miracle now could be in some trouble himself. He doesn't really want to fight into this one with the Stone Gaze. He might, though. They're going to have to kind of turn tail and run away from that for now.
They will catch the Earth Spread up on the high ground. But again, is it enough? Burning still pretty much at full power. OP, Q, and XXS, they're ready for another fight.
Burning just heals up with the heart regen, then he's back in. He'll start working on this bottom lane. And the Empower damage is buffed up even further by this Heart of Terras, since it gives you that juicy strength, and there's no real good response to Burning at this stage of the game with how farmed he is.
Miracle's starting to bring Burning down a little bit, but Burning will turn straight towards him. Miracle. There's the Manta. There's the Concoction onto Burning. Timmerman just doing so little damage, if any, with just that Lincolns and Phase at the moment on his build.
It's like, does like 50 damage a right click from Medusa onto the Lifestealer with all his armor, and he's got, yeah, over 3k HP to chew through, so good luck bringing down Burning.
How do you kill him? It's...
He gets the free evasion at level 20 as well with his Talon, I imagine. Movement Seed is kind of nice, but 15 evasion against Dusa Alchemist seems like the way to go. That's going to increase his effective HP even more. He is close to that 6 odds point. He's going Butterfly as his final item. At least he's queued it up for now. We'll see if he commits to that. But I think he recognizes evasion's going to be super valuable. How do you farm an MKB through this Medusa? Medusa has no items whatsoever. Alchemist can theoretically farm an evasion-piercing item, but you're an Alchemist. You don't want to. You go for your Shivers, then you start pulling Aghanim Scepters, perhaps. Maybe you get an AC in there, an Abyssal, but you never really want to have an MKB. So evasion is a very hard counter to Liquid's lineup at this point.
And here we go again, IG. They've got the Greaves now on Q as well. I mean, as we've kind of seen, it seemed that Liquid's best bet at this moment really is to just make sure these fights don't happen around their base. They've got to keep Miracle pushing these lanes out.
Yeah, split push,
and they're hunting for him. It looks like. I mean, they come around towards the top half. Maybe see if they catch anyone coming out.
I mean, they're even like itemized for like the Shadow Blade on Magnus. They're going for all the catch and pick off items to hopefully find him, but they won't catch him immediately. They'll go for the Shrine instead. He's still lurking around that top lane, and they'll see some illusions, but they won't be there in time to catch the elusive Alchemist. But
I think a lot of people coming into this series wouldn't have expected IG to give this much of a showing in game 1 at least to Liquid. Liquid have, I mean, it is the first game at LAN, so it can be a bit shaky for some teams, but IG are just looking really hot here in game 1.
Yep. And the hard thing for a Liquid draft like this is they probably theory crafted that this is like a good counter to what the Chinese teams are doing with like the Lifestealer, how you've got this team fight with the Medusa, Stone Gaze, with the Supernova. Phoenix is good against it.
Can they kill Burning? They've got 4 heroes here surrounding him. GH will kind of tentatively lift him up, but the rest of them say, no, we can't kill the Lifestealer. We've got to go for the rest. They'll jump in on the backliners. XXS falling low, but he uses himself up. They've killed the Axe in return. Will RP the Medusa, but XSS does end up going down. GH, again with the stolen RP, able to slow Burning down a little bit. He's raised up, they just don't have the damage to go through it. Miracle on the backlines, trying to cut across, was able to get a second. He'll look towards Burning. He will continue to chase this down, but he just cannot go for it, especially level 20. He did go for that evasion talent on Burning. There is just no way they can cut through that Lifestealer. Even if there's 5 of their heroes and 1 of the Lifestealer, I still question how, if they can kill him.
He walked into 4 and they ignored him and ran for the Magnus, so that kind of says it all.
They're trying to come in onto Miracle here. They're bringing in the full force to dispatch of this Alchemist. Miracle has got the backup of Kuroki Sunray. Can they keep the Alchemist alive? It looks like they will be able to. Turn around, maybe seeing if the concoction was needed to hold back IG. But as we're seeing, as unkillable Burning is, a similar situation there, Miracle surrounded by the majority of IG, they couldn't quite kill him.
Yep. Main difference between the two, while both being kind of unkillable, is Burning does a hell of a lot of damage. This Alchemist can do damage, it's just nowhere comparable to what the Lifestealer is doing. And he has reached that 6-slot Alchemist at a reasonable-ish time. Like, you normally want to reach it maybe around 28 to 30 minutes. I mean, he still can progress item-wise, but these 6 items is normally what you want to see around the 28-minute mark, so he's a little bit slower, but it's less, not so much Miracle's timing on his items, it's where the rest of his team is at in terms of farm and where IG's at. IG is super farmed on both Lifestealer as well as Tinker. They've got complete map control, they've got Roche control. That Roche is about to respawn at the max timer. Probably doesn't matter for IG too much that it took this long, but...
Interesting. Gods, look at this. Is this kind of, we're not doing great. I'm picking up the S on Y on Medusa from Matumba Man.
Whatever cheap, cost-effective items you can buy at this point. I guess the Manta's like the one other... With all the buffs, I think he's just rating the item slightly above the Manta. And the Manta illusions die incredibly fast to like things like Tinker Laser. The main benefit is being able to get out of some spells.
He's been skewered back and immediately silenced. Can he get himself out of it? He does have backup from the team, but Burning, he's looking towards Matumba Man. Does get the chance for the Stone Gaze, and that will force Burning to back.
Still win for IG. That's Stone Gaze on cooldown. They can use that to secure Roche for themselves. And they're going to smoke and actually look to fight, perhaps. Not really sure there's a whole lot Liquid can do to win a team fight without both Stone Gaze and Supernova right now.
Oh man, yeah, if they hit this RP, be a kill for sure. GH, quick with the blink out. They look to chase him down as Baboka comes forward. Has got Burning inside him. To burst down Kuroki there, OP, and with the blink forward, OP only goes and does it. Brings down the Phoenix.
Yeah. Bit too easy.
Oh my. I mean, I'm looking at this game 2. I mean, what's the biggest issue, do you feel? Is there going to be anything that we're seeing here that we're not going to see Liquid let IG get their hands on in the second game?
They may change some of their bans to like deny burning the Lifestealer, for example, but I think this is very much like Liquid with a theory-crafted draft. Probably, it's the kind of draft you can't really necessarily practice a whole ton. Perhaps they maybe had some scrim practice against some of the Chinese teams, but this was like, to me, it feels like a draft that was heavily theory-crafted, but maybe not like really tested and practiced as much. But they can stop this Roche from happening. They may kind of salvage this game or at least give themselves a chance.
Burning immediately in onto Matumba Man. Matumba Man falling low, has to back. Miracle on the front lines, trying to kind of pull IG away from Liquid themselves. Acting as a distraction. I mean, he's toggling around. Miracle knows that he can survive this, but Burning's back into the pit. They'll look to try and do something there with the Sunray, but it isn't going to happen as IG take Roche, get the Aegis on the Lifestealer.
And with that, IG probably ready to look to push forward down another lane. Tinker can keep these side lanes pushed out a bit. It's a lot harder for the Alchemist to go for that annoying creep skipping play at this stage since there's such good catch on IG's side. And, well, looks like bottom lane is where IG are going to be headed now.
And we'll see if they can get away with this push or if Liquid have a better answer to it. They do have all the ultimates back online on Liquid.
Kuro still just level 1 Supernova. It doesn't seem to have mattered so much anymore. We haven't seen the egg like dying or anything. It's just, it's always been paired up with the Stone Gaze. So regardless of what level it's been, it's proven to be pretty effective. The stun duration increase is maybe what you want from leveling it up.
Oh goodness, and Burning. He's got a complete Monkey King bar on the way as well.
Doesn't really have this. I could drop his phase boots theoretically. Or his armlet, I guess, is the way to go. But yeah, it's pretty damn hard right now.
Absolutely insane now. How big and strong this Lifestealer has become this game. It's been a perfect game for him. It will be called XXS with the RP only onto one though.
Another stolen RP.
Yeah, GH has been getting a lot of chances. There's Miracle actually on the back lines already with the BKB trying to bring down OP. And in fact, with Blink Forward GH, can they do it? They can. They'll take him down. Matsuma with the Stone Gaze forcing RG to back. They've actually caught XXS on the sidelines as well. He'll yield himself up. Burning's going to try and do his best to get them off XXS, and they will. He'll allow XXS to blink out. Miracle gets bursted, will buy back. Quick jump in from OP to zap down the bird.
Yeah, I think a good time to Tinker buy back there. You know this is like the fight where you're taking racks. Your opponents are going to have to buy back. Tinker, they've just used their ultimate, so it's less about like using your buyback to force a rack, but more about knowing that you can fight with those big ultis down and they're not going to be able to bring you down.
OP's back in with the lasers, just
damage.
bursting them down. Jumps forward again for round 2 and brings down Mind Control. No buyback on the axe. As IG taking down the melee racks. Burning sticking around for the bonus as he brings the range down as well.
We'll still stick around in this game knowing that things can turn with one good fight and Medusa picking up an item or two.
Is there any axe that could change this? I mean, you see Miracle, that is what he's going for now. Who can he give this to that could change everything?
I guess it goes to GH on the Rubik.
I'm thinking GH
it's
as
either
well.
that or I mean, the Phoenix save is kind of nice because you can put a teammate in the egg and keep them alive.
Yeah.
But I want to say, yeah,
I mean,
it's one of the two.
If you get what GH stealing is what Tinker's spells, it's going to be very nice for high ground defense.
It's getting RP almost every single fight. So this Magnus has struggled to kind of cover his RP, but I think more testament to GH and how on point he has been with the timing of his RP steals.
And if he gets if he gets given the Aghanims and he's able to steal in power, suddenly Medusa's got damage. You know what I mean with that aura.
Not a bad option, yeah.
He's got to get it, of course, though. First Miracle still 1,000 or so away from having that Aghanim Scepter. Burning onto the tower and back off again. Just using that rage timing to get as much as he can done. Still has that Aegis, of course.
And the heart will regen him back up, so he doesn't really care that he takes a big chunk of damage. He'll just sit around, wait for that regen to kick in, and then pelt away on this tier 3 tower once again. There is a glyph to protect it, but at some point you've got to engage if you're Liquid.
Burning back in, there's the engage. Mind Control comes in, again trying to pull Burning away. They've got to be careful how close they get. They know that Magnus is looking for an RP potential. Burning will once again be forced back. I mean, Liquid, they're certainly making it hard for IG. But IG each time are whittling down the damage and health on that tier 3, and they're sticking around.
Still got a full minute left on the Aegis, so they may as well continue to do what they can to the tier 3 tower. Tinker's the one that needs to be the most careful without buyback, though.
And again, Mind Control. Pull back onto Burning. Miracle stunning up the concoction. It looks to try and get it off, but
nice
immediately does get skewered back. Stuns himself. OP. Burst and the rearm ready for round 2. Bringing him down low. Mind Control comes in, though, to protect Miracle with the cool onto Tinker. They'll bring down OP, and of course, this is a man that's going to be dead for a long time, as buyback almost certainly still on cooldown from that engagement down on the bottom lane earlier, as he's out for a full plus 90 seconds. And IG, they'll be forced back, so that's almost only going to be 90 seconds where IG unlikely to try and make a high ground siege happen. And the map slowly but surely starts to open back up for Liquid. Aghanims, how's it going? It's just a few hundred away from point booster.
We'll see him get that from this bottom farm and see which direction it goes, which of the two supports. I think it's unlikely the Axe gets it, not amazing.
Surely it goes Rubik. I think
it should be.
There's just so many beautiful things. And with GH, just as you said, you know, he's been playing like he deserves an Aghanim.
Yeah. That's the thing.
That man's
you do it based on merit, not based on
Absolutely. You do it on how well your teammates are playing.
Yeah.
That's how you work out with the Axe goes. Yeah. Here we go. Who's he heading for? Could it be something fun like the Phoenix breath? It's GH, surely.
Oh, he's hugging Kuro.
Oh, is it?
Nope.
No.
He
gives it to Kuro. I mean, he's the boss, you know what I mean? Yeah. You got to please the boss.
Absolutely. I mean, you can get that Medusa or Alchemist in the egg and save their lives. It's definitely a game-winning kind of thing. But I mean, similarly, a Rubik with an axe can be a team fight winning.
It can be a game-losing thing though as well. If you get someone in and you kill both of them.
Yes.
So we'll see which way it goes around here. Liquid, they'll take the tower. They're looking to try and find to Burning. They'll get the cool off. Immediate light strike. Oh my goodness! There's the RP, but GH. This man, give that man an axe. comes in with the stolen RP. Out they come with the Supernova, but there's the second RP again from XXS into the 3-man light strike. But they brought down Burning. Liquid are somehow doing okay in this fight, and I've got to say, it's this GH. He's hit more RPs than this Magnus has this game, but it looks like it doesn't matter, yeah. OP just cleaning up as he comes forward. Mind Control isn't going to be able to hit the call. They'll get Matuma Man out. GH looking to try and escape. There's going to be the jump forward. He's low on mana. If he had a bit of it, he would have turned around and gone for the kill.
There's a blink on the TP, but...
Oh, Mind Control's actually come in and actually gets the dunk down onto the Magnus. So Mind Control sacrificed himself there to bring down XXS. And again, when Liquid are kind of behind, well, I say kind of, they are, 2 sets of racks down. Kill trades like that work out because you've got the buyback. Magnus hasn't for 60 seconds. Again, you're creating more time where IG are going to be unable to close the game out.
Yep. Seems like a time for Medusa kind of game. Like at this point, Alka's there. He's 6-slotted. He's not getting any more farm, but Medusa is the one that needs to get
we saw pretty much 3 kind of flashy RPs. The first one there from XXS catching 3, but GH just straight in to hold them back.
Over with it. Like they actually managed to have the damage to kill off Burning. That was impressive.
Absolutely, and straight in again. XXS comes through, and they do have this follow through from Q. Yep. But Liquid is just able to out-sustain it long enough to make sure that they do get trades in return. OP, of course, still just being a massive issue there with the burst damage that he can offer and the power that he's reached.
Still a concern, like what's the long-term goal? Like where are you headed with this? So you look at IG, they've got a refresh on Magnus, so their late game is very impressive. Earth Spirit has gotten like 10k net worth, same for the Lina. All the supports are farmed on the Dire side. So I still feel like Liquid are going to have scaling issues right now. Like they're slightly come out on top of that fight. They hold on, but they've still got 20 seconds without Alchemist. He actually does not have buyback right now, and this could just be another rack if Liquid aren't careful.
Control. Again,
there's no Stone Gaze now. That's actually a really big problem. Losing Stone Gaze means you don't have that synergy between the Phoenix and the
They may
Medusa.
just get Mega Dit. There's still that range racks in the mid lane that they can look after. Miracle will be back in a couple of seconds, literally. Mind Control again with the jump in, bringing him back, but XXS is in there with the RP. Supernova comes out. They have managed to hold GH back with the stun. If he gets in, they could clean up, and in fact, it looks like they're doing it anyway. Miracle heading forward, taking down Q. There's GH again with the RP to control Burning. Oh, he also got OP in as well.
Burning's still fighting though. He's
Burning's turning, and this lifesteal is bringing him right back up. Miracle with the stun to hold back the Earth Spirit. Miracle going for, really wants to try and find that lifestealer kill. Can he actually do it? He's got to back up as Earth Spirit comes in for the cover. XXS will be the new target. Skewers away. Do they have detection? And I think the answer is no, not on those two. Not on the 2 cores on the front line, so XXS will get away with his life. But again, GH is really doing it. He did have to buy back for that defense, but these RPs, I really feel the game would have been over 10 minutes or more ago if he hadn't been hitting what he's had.
He's so on point. Like, there's Magnus with his cast times. It's actually, if Rubik is perfect with his spell steal, it's impossible to stop him stealing that RP, and every single time he's instant on it. He could try look to use Empower on himself or Shockwave after it, but Rubik is just always right away has it.
Absolutely.
They killed the egg. That's the first fight where I feel they've actually managed to get the egg. He got the egg with the axe inside too. Double. That was the double kill. That was really nicely done by Q, and that was something that was kind of mentioned when the Lina pick came up by the panelists, that Fiery Soul's actually not bad at dealing with that egg, so we're seeing it as kind of a pseudo solution from a support hero at that. So,
and you got to give credit as well to the Earth Spirit there in that play, where we saw he got the GH got the RP onto both Burning and OP, but literally that 3-man boulder smash just made sure that they couldn't just quite get the damage out to bring the Burning down. Liquid was so close to killing Burning.
He's played very well, even at the end there when he kicks Burning out just to help him retreat. Like, he's doing every little thing to help the cause. Scouts out Kuro with a boulder smash, and it looks like IG...
They're a little scared.
They know those ultimates are coming back up. The team fight is back for Liquid. Martu's got Butterfly and a Blink. He can position very well for his Stone Gaze with this Blink dagger.
He's coming back into it, Matuma Man. We really saw him struggling at the start. He was on the same net worth as this axe. Now he's doubling Mind Control. So he's been focused. He's buckled down, kept his head in the game. And now, as you mentioned, with the Butterfly and Blink, he's a big threat in these team fights.
Yep. Burning is going to struggle more and more against the range. Medusa, even the Alchemist can cause problems. Does have the MKB to deal with the Butterfly, but Butterfly's still a nifty item for all the armor and stats and helps elsewhere when it comes to these upcoming team fights.
both
Problem
teams.
is, the longer you stand, if you're Liquid, bottom lane's going to push in, top lane's going to push in, so you've got to make a move at some point. Otherwise, that range tracks at top, your tier 4 towers are going to start getting chipped away. I wouldn't even mind seeing like Tinker TP bottom, push out lane. He TP's top, he has that idea in mind where it's like, let's push out these lanes. Kuro!
Oh.
He managed the egg. I think he went for the egg, but just, yeah, got sniped. Actually, he doesn't want an egg. He's got the -20 respawn time. He respawns very quickly. It looked like he was trying to cast something, though.
Still here, IG, they're trying to go for Rage. Miracle just keeps waltzing in and out with the chemical rage, trying to pull them away from it. In fact, he has to be a little bit careful, getting bursted down low. Pots the BKB, burning with the rage though. Looking to fight, mind control charge for the blink call, won't catch anyone. IG back into the pit. It looks like this time they may get away with finishing Roche without any interruptions.
They give Tinker the Aegis this time. That felt like maybe something they would have wanted to have happen last time. Burning, as tanky as he is, very hard to kill, has a lot of protection from his team. Tinker, if they're ever on top of it, Tinker, he's just dead. So giving him the Aegis seems like a good way to move forward with this game. And Burning also, of course, having item slot limitations now as he looks to complete a Bloodthorn as his last final item. Does have the cheese as well, so we'll see what Liquid can do if they can hold once more. It's going to be a tough ask. They have got some buybacks. Alchemist and Medusa both holding on to theirs. They won't have that GH Rubik buyback though.
You got as well Miracle's queuing up for a Moonshot next. I mean, is this going to go to himself, or do you think you give that to the Medusa at this stage?
It's almost better on Medusa in some ways. Miracle's more like the frontline tank.
I'm talking about the frontline tank. He's been ripped straight into the midst of it all. They have managed to pull the rest of IG away from Burning, though. Burning on the front lines, of course, doesn't have that Aegis. They gave it to OP and he can't get it out.
What a
He's
great
down.
Hold. They split them up so well. Isolate Burning, then they stun him up with the Stone Gaze, and unable to. If he gets the cheese off there, perhaps IG can salvage it, but great initiation from Liquid. That's why Miracle being that frontline tank, his job is just run at the back line and keep them busy. He's very hard to kill. And the Medusa with the rest of the supports able to actually bring down Burning there.
There we go, there's the Moonshot. Is he going to eat himself, or is he going to feed the poor? As he looks towards Matuma Man.
He gave it to Matu, yeah.
Yep, he's feeling charitable.
Yep.
But as you said, this absolutely makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You want to have Matu with that extra DAC speed in these defenses.
Matu's the important right-click and carry at this point. Alchemist, yeah, just looking to be as survivable as possible. He's queued up another Ags. See where this one goes. Probably talk about GH the Rubik just deserving one at this point, but I mean, maybe you give it to Medusa for stats. Give Medusa an Ag, give her a Moonshot, give her everything. It's all about the Medusa, you know.
I still feel for GH though. He's eyeing up that the queued up Aghanims, and he's like, one day Miracle. He'll give me one.
What do I need to do?
I mean,
to prove
at the same time, it could be like, well, I get RP every time. Ags doesn't do anything for that, so it's wasted on me, you know. Because he's literally just looking for the RP, so maybe that's what it is. He's not really wanting to steal anything else.
Yeah, there's not many other...
Oh, here we go. Miracle. In a lot of trouble. Pops the BKB. Not in a lot of trouble. He's out. Nice try, IG. Try again. I've got friends this time. So Matuma Man and Mind Control turn up and hold hands.
Was the RP... No, interesting you didn't go for an RP there on the BKB here. Like, you've got double RP, using it for...
Could've, yeah.
Burning was maybe a little bit too far away or something, but even so, I think IG just looking to settle down and have another go with this Aegis. They've still got 2 minutes, so it's not like they're on a major timer or anything. And Tinker out of mana. There we go. We'll be heading back to base fairly soon, and yeah, looking to just take these last... Mega Creeps is not game over is the other thing, but you still want to make sure you get those Mega Creeps because it makes it a lot harder. Liquid have to then prioritize defending and pushing out lanes a lot more than previously, so you definitely want to get it, but the game will still go beyond Mega Creeps. That's for sure. And you've got to, at some point, you're going to have to kill Liquid's heroes and fight them when their ultis are down to try and win this game. And
here we go, Miracle once again with just walk into the backline, a strategy that's worked each time now with these defenses. Again, they get the grip and the Stone Gaze, but the RP comes through from XXS. On to 3, Empowered Burning starting to rip through them, but in comes the swoop from Kuroki with the Supernova. Who's he got inside him there? I think it's Did he say Miracle? Matuma Man, he kept Matuma Man, saved him from the second RP. Burning, again shoved forward.
Didn't get the RP. I perhaps misclicked onto the Lifestealer because he stole Infest, and the Lifestealer was on top of the Magnus when he went in for the Blink RP, so it looks like GH for the first time in the entire game. It's like it's hard to like point out like, oh, he made a mistake, but it was not even a mistake. He stole an RP like 7 of 8 times.
He knows that the refresh is there. He's like, I won't steal the first one, I'll steal the second one.
Yeah.
Here we go again, Burning straight forward. Mind Control with the call to bring him back. The evasion just doing a lot for Burning, keeping him alive, allowing him to take down the range racks on the back lines. Miracle looking towards Q, trying to bring them around again. I mean, XXS has been totally left alone on this front lines. Will be taken down.
Miracles in no man's land, but that's kind of what his job has been. Keep the other 4 heroes distracted and allow the rest of Liquid to actually find kills, because Miracle like is kind of 1v. He's not expecting to get kills in those 1v3, 1v4 scenarios. He's just trying to stay alive and keep Tinker busy. Prevent his blink from going off. His Radiance is like the key thing there, where Tinker can't blink in to help Burning on the front lines, to help Magnus.
And as we see, you know, the evasion talent certainly causing issues for Matumbaman in trying to take down Burning's Lifestealer. They do have the money for that MKB, but they need to get the courier out there, jump in, and again, buyback this time from Miracle. Boost of travels onto the front, but indeed the Megas are out. Look towards Burning, do get the concoction follow-up, and in the Stone Gaze from Matumbaman, but immediately IG, they're just backing away. They will catch out the Lina at least. Liquid, they would have hoped for more, and maybe they can still get him. Miracle continues to chase down, will get Baboka, and Burning says, right, I'm out of this car, this is not going anymore.
Baboka will save him if he needs to. He's got that Stone Activate Remnant called for.
He needs to stone
Actually,
Burning.
Cooldown, the enchant.
Okay, yeah, Burning in a bit of a spot above it. OP's actually coming on the back lines, interestingly enough, and Liquid just turn and bring down the Tinker. Bit of an interesting position for OP to find himself in. Burning, turning back towards Miracle. Miracle puts the BKB so he can walk off the open wounds, and now Mind Control comes in. But Boca's still there. Pulse Burning back. The silence as well onto Miracle, making sure that the concoction can't come out as he stuns himself. Burning turns towards the Alchemist, trying to walk it off with the Glimmer Cape and the Man Style. XXS RP's nothing.
Whips.
Doesn't manage to catch the out.
Oh, we got the Yules though.
Oh, and indeed
Great
cancels the TP. They will almost certainly indeed bring down Miracle, who does not have buyback. Out for 110 seconds. The rest of Liquid will get themselves back to safety. Amidst the chaos, Matumbaman was able to get the courier out to the secret shop and does have the MKB, but no Miracle for this defense.
Yeah, very hectic fight there. Miracle did a nice job expecting the RP coming in, dodges it to the north, but then XSX scouts him with the Shivers to set up the Yules cancel. So great plays from both the cores there, and now without Miracle alive, I worry for Liquid's base here. They will just kind of hug the tier 4s. The nice thing is you're not worried about having to defend racks anymore. You can just stand right by your tier 4s with the Medusa, right-click away.
Do have the sentry here, and immediately with a call into the Stone Gaze, this could be a good opening for them to go for. Magnus will use himself up, trying to survive, does still get the skewer back onto Matumbaman. Follow through Boulder Smash from Baboka, allows XSS to blink out. Matumbaman with his own blink, forced up to the high ground, as Liquid will keep Matumbaman alive. Buying time, as you said.
Buying time, but using the Stone Gaze again. Now they don't really have any good defense tools for this tier 4 towers and throne. Burning.
Just the one-man RP. GH will jump in return, but it's not enough as Liquid just start to melt. There'll be a buyback from Matumbaman, but IG maybe even eyeing up dying the fountain at this stage, as there's no buybacks on the rest of them. Matumbaman stoned and out of the fountain, as GG is called, and IG will finally end up closing the game. We kind of expected a potential long one from this one. 54 minutes in, you know, either team, whoever was going to be on the back foot to have this period of just holding on as well as they could. And, you know, Liquid did their best, considering the fact that at the start, IG just had this roaring beginning. Burning had an amazing opening as the Lifestealer. And IG, their lineup, OP's Tinker, 16-5-12. We knew it was strong. He has a 70% plus win rate. Maybe we'll see it banned in game 2.
Yeah, I think if they have any other hero mid other than the Tinker, that Liquid draft works incredibly well. Yeah. So it was a fantastic pick in response to the Medusa. And if they saved it for last pick, very likely Liquid would have banned it out. So very on-point decision to draft it and pick it up then. Burning's Lifestealer comes on. I mean, he's only 5'2" and 16. It's not like the scariest kill score by any means, but he got the job done. He was the one kind of leading the charge, taking objectives in the mid-game. And the safe lane Alchemist just never really worked, was often just playing from behind. Really good early support movements. They caught him out a few times early on, so they did a good job shutting him down.
Absolutely. I'm just looking at OP's damage statistic there. Nearly 70,000 damage dealt. You know, just Tinker things. You know, OP on his Tinker. Watch out for game 2 and see if Liquid have the balls to let it through again. But game 1 goes to IG. That's it from myself and Gods for a few moments, but we'll head back to the panel to hear what they have to say about that game.
Thank you very much. Yes, OP literally living up to his name in game 1 for IG as they dominate the first game of the day. It is a best of 2 series, so we will get the second game, and of course it is either a draw or a win. So either a point or 3 points for either of the teams. So still something to fight for Liquid. Let's find out what their panel made of it, Shiva. We said before we went into this looks like a good draft. We're very interested about it. It looked like they had a plan. If they had a plan, I'm not sure what it was, because nothing really went well for them, did it?
I think they had a plan. It's just
plan.
it took a very long time to
I
get
don't
it
think
working.
we saw it, did we?
It didn't happen because their laning stage went too badly.
Right.
Like God's talked about, the Tinker pick just completely counters the Medusa, because the only way he can last it if he gets lasered is to throw the snake, and you can only do that once in a while. So they were underfarmed on the mid lane. They were decently farmed on the safe lane, but some really good support rotation pressure around 10 minutes got them like 2 to 3 kills on Miracle. And all of that just added up to a place where Liquid never actually got this good 5-man team fight that they were supposed to, because they were behind on their levels on Phoenix, they were behind on Rubik a little bit. So it's like they were just weak everywhere on the map, and it took until like 35, 40 minutes until they finally got caught up slowly enough where they could actually win a fight.
Yeah.
So
I think it was around about 30 minutes. Owen asked an impossible question of Gods. He said, what can they do to get back into this? And I just felt like Gods ought to have just said nothing. Because it was almost a lost cause at one point in this game.
It definitely felt like that. I thought the game was going to end at 30 minutes, but they pulled it out for an extra 20. It ended almost an hour. I think Liquid played great, considering how far behind they were, and how like their high ground siege defense kind of thing was just amazing. They made the game go long, and if they were just closer, they could have won it.
Definitely become a tougher team to beat, Shiva, but there's got to be more to it than that, hasn't it? They've got to be a team that wins as well.
I just feel that this game, IG, they played it perfectly. They had the right tempo. They knew they had to get the pressure early on, and at that point, Liquid wasn't ready to fight back. And then you've got Alchemist and Medusa, 2 heroes that both need a lot of farm. There was at some point where IG had 11 kills done to Liquid, and most of those kills were on the cores. It wasn't just supports they found and picked up. It was Medusa and the Alchemist that they were able to kill, and you got 2 heroes that need so much farm, take up so much space, and nobody else gets anything. And Kuroki doesn't get any levels. He was level 3 at 8 minutes into the game, which is a sad thing, because you do need that team fight to help out, to buy you time to get that farm. And then IG, they just played it really, really well.
Yeah.
And the patience also, of course, to have Burning go with that rage up the high ground every single time. Even if he got just 3 or 4 hits off before the axe called him with the blade mail and pulled him back, he did get that damage in every time.
Yeah, this is actually one of the team fights that looked like it was going to start quite well for Liquid, even though they lost an early man here. But
yeah, that stun on the Alchemist on the right side of the screen is a crucial part, because he was going to kill the Lina, and if Lina gets cleaned up, he probably doesn't die to Tinker because he won't get disabled.
Yep.
He can keep kiting the back line, but because he goes down there, forced to buy back. Ultimately, won okay for them.
I think this is the other one. I was sat with a couple of the guys outside, and I counted how many times they threw abilities on to Burning, and I think it was something like 10 or 11 abilities to kill him, and they still couldn't kill him.
Yeah, it was tough. The stolen RPs from GH were amazing. They definitely
Really
elongated the game for 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, and that was this fight particularly where he gets the RP.
Yeah, the nice Phoenix egg as well. Consistently was saving Matumba Man in those fights, because usually he does go very low HP here. But the disable's just enough to kill the Lifestealer in the end.
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
crucial.
it was often that they would initiate on Burning pretty often in those fights, but just not be able to kill him, and then run out of ideas after that, and then just be picked off.
They fixed that a little bit later on, where on the top lane when the pushes came.
Yeah, I think it's this one. Sorry, Shiva. I think it's this one where they tried to kill Burning, and they literally threw absolutely everything in the kitchen sink at him in this mixture of fights right now, and they're just focusing, trying to get rid of him, and it just never dies.
Yeah,
She will not die.
The Boulder Smash here from the Earth Spirit was crucial, because they definitely would have killed him in that moment.
Yeah.
GH would have stayed alive. They could have gotten some map control, pushed things out, but instead it was just the typical everybody runs away thing. So definitely so many crucial moments and big team fights, but they just need their laning stage to go a little bit better. And to do so, you have to get some pressure ganks out of Phoenix. I mean, there was a period of time where Phoenix was decent in ganking, but we haven't seen it as much. Maybe he should have gone for more fire, or more of the what's it called, the Sunray. It was changed to magic damage instead of pure.
He put a point in that early, didn't he?
He went
like 1-for-1.
He went 1-2-1, I believe, or 1-3-1, I believe.
Yeah.
But maybe go more Sunray. I think the reason he didn't get Sunray is because he's against an Earth Spirit. It's like the easiest thing ever. Oh, there's a giant laser. I'll just kick a boulder over there, or silence it. Like you can interrupt it. So. They didn't get enough out of their lanes, and because of that, they're always playing from behind. And then the Medusa's behind, neither her or the Alt can gank. It's just their early game was crap. Their mid game was crap.
And God said, if there was any other hero other than the Tinker mid for OP, it would have been a whole different game.
Yeah.
So I think already maybe, being a little bit more prepared for
some
Tinker,
ideas.
or remove it from the draft,
Get rid of it.
either one.
Yep, move it out. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and show you how it all went down, statistically speaking. And from the statistics, who would you have as your MVP?
I would say Burning, personally. I think his Lifestealer is pretty much flawless. I don't think he makes mistakes. He farms incredibly fast. He got his Midas super early, and then that translated to just really consistent high ground. I feel like his item builds as well. I saw him play a couple other Lifestealer games in the qualifiers as well, where he just changes it up based on what he needs, and I think he pretty much always makes the right decision.
So Burning is MVP. You did Shiva highlight OP before
Yes.
this.
That would be that's a very close call for me, Burning or OP, but
yeah.
I'll allow
I feel like OP had the easiest Tinker game of his life, basically.
I mean, yes.
Because everybody else.
Give me all the kills,
like,
all the stats, all the damage.
Imagine being Burning. Like, you are the guy that goes high ground every time, and it seems so easy. Like, oh, he goes in, he pops Rage, the Berserker's Call with the Blade Mail, he has to run back, but he didn't make mistakes.
Yeah, and there were a couple of really clutch moments where it looked like he was going to get finished off, and that would have resulted in almost a complete team wipe, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that he stayed alive those 2 or 3 times actually was so key to his team then getting extra kills and being able to push. So MVP for the first game is Burning.
If it went the other way and Liquid won it, I would have given it to GH easily for all of the RP steals.
RP,
yeah, they were really on point.
Yeah, but everybody on IG played really well that game. It's like it's one of those times where you grab a draft that you think is going to outsmart their typical standard meta thing, and they just play consistent, and they do the thing exactly what they need to do, and you're like, oh, that's right, you have to actually pay attention to your lanes when you draft. You can't just theory craft this 5-man pick thing.
Yeah.
So
unfortunately.
they played really well.
But it also goes the other way sometimes, doesn't it? Because you do get those theory craft drafts where they work flawlessly, and you just go, this game's easy.
Yeah.
This is so easy to figure out. Let's try something else this game, and it works again, and
Yeah.
it just becomes a snowball. So where do they go for game 2, Liquid? Do they come back to the standard a little bit more? Maybe move towards maybe a 702 meta rather than trying new things?
I mean, that draft definitely felt a little cheesy to me,
Did,
but
yeah.
it's worth it if you for the BO2s. If you get 2 game wins, you get 3 points. It's a stupid amount of points compared to just 1. So I'm sure they have another one up their sleeve. They've got a lot of drafts prepped, I'm sure.
I wouldn't be unhappy with the Rubik first pick again because, I mean, if
It's
you
very
look at
open,
it from
isn't it?
IG's point of view, sure, they won the game, but it wasn't flawless. I mean, it was very well executed, obviously, but they still took an hour to take it down, and preferably have a shorter game. So they also have points improved. They don't want an RP every single time from G8, so maybe Rubik ban. So what are you going to do? IO and Invoker still first bans? Because that's that's a tough call to make.
That opens up a lot of other possibilities, like Sunstrike ganking makes all their ganking better, and their team fight's still good. The IO changes the play style in the game so weird. Just split pushing and things like that. I think they just do what they did before. I think they reacted correctly to Liquid's draft. They made sure their lanes were good. They played super standard Dota, and it worked out well. And
sometimes
just took longer than they thought.
Simple is best.
Yeah.
Maybe Liquid should also heed that advice.
Take a leaf out of their page,
Yes.
or take a page out of their book, as it were. We've got some questions coming in from the Reddit thread. If you haven't already posted in there, please go and check that one out right now. Is Kuroki Ags better than Moonshard for Alk or Medusa?
On hindsight, probably. On hindsight, it would probably be better for the Moonshard, but
it's not that great. I mean, if you think about Moonshard, it's basically equivalent to 1 Hyperstone. So you're paying 4,000 gold for a 2,000 gold item. That right there, you're already losing value. Whereas Ags, you get full value, giving it to them. You get full stat value, and you get whatever the Ags upgrade is.
But
so
on
I don't think it's
hindsight,
equivalent.
how many times did the Kuroki Ags actually change a fight for the better?
It saved Matoma Man at least twice, possibly 3 times.
But it did kill Ags.
And in the end, yes, that last fight, yes. But I mean, maybe you could argue give it to GH instead. But I think Crow used it well and justified it. I think maybe I just would have given the Ags to GH immediately afterwards rather than the Moonshard. That's the better question, I think.
Okay. I like the fact that you turned that question around and made it your own question.
Yeah, it was on the right track. It was just way off. It was like step 2.
You started analysing the questions from Reddit now, Kevin. I have to say this might be going a bit too far.
Analyze everything, man.
All right, too far. As you can see, players are just about coming back from their break back to their booze right now. I wonder can we get another question from Reddit? I don't know if we can get another one.
And I think that was probably the only one in the Reddit thread, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It only just got posted as well.
It did.
So
Yeah, they're hot off the press. Hot off the press.
Yeah, so if you have questions.
Yeah, indeed.
Question number
Go
2,
for
it's not good, but they're going to have to put it up now that you prompted them, Red Eye. Come on.
They'll come through. They'll just drip feed them through to us. So
It's probably where you bought your tie, to be honest.
I did want to ask about this tie now, Kevin, because I'm I like ties, and I like that tie.
It's a good tie.
It's sort of like it feels it's sort of pixel related.
Okay. Yeah, I
which
could
is
see
kind of
that.
cool.
Yeah.
But apparently you weren't allowed to wear this tie. You've had this tie for a while, and you weren't allowed to wear it.
My girlfriend pushed me to buy this one because she thought it looked really nice. We bought it before TI last year, actually.
Yeah. And then it didn't make an appearance.
I didn't have good pocket square variety, so I didn't have good matchers.
All right, you got that sold.
And then it was like winter, and she's like, you can't wear it in the winter. You got to wear it in the spring. So I've been waiting until spring to bring out the flower ties.
It's a spring tie. It's a spring tie, Paul. Do you not color check your ties with the seasons?
No, I don't season check my ties.
Come on, Paul.
I'm not.
I'm utterly disappointed.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry.
Is that a thing?
It's
is that really a
yeah.
thing?
That's like maybe that's a meta of fashion that I'm not the biggest fan of personally.
Right.
But I'm still a fashion noob, so
I mean, this is like
maybe I just have bad opinions.
7K MMR fashion for me because I just don't understand that. I don't get it. Apparently, we do have another serious question now,
All right.
rather than the stupid questions that I asked here on the show. How good is BKB on Lifestealer?
It's really rare cases where you would probably want that. I mean, especially because Lifestealer has talents that fit his armor lackings. Like in the past, Lifestealer would be like, oh, you have lots of HP, you do good damage, but you would get killed by like PA. So you just substitute needing magic immunity with like armor and HP, and then it doesn't matter if you get disabled, which is what happened in that game. He was stunned, and it would take forever for them to kill him because he was just super tanky anyways.
It's very situational.
I just haven't seen it forever, actually. I just feel like it's not justified anymore because you've got all that backup survivability.
Certainly not since 7.
Yeah. Before talent trees, absolutely. It's been a while. So there's a lot of heroes like that really got changed heavily from talent trees, but kind of depends what they've got there to fill their gaps and solve item issues that they don't have to buy anymore.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to head into the draft momentarily. Invictus Gaming winning the first game. What do you expect from them? Are they going to chase the draft again? Are they just going to let Liquid come at them and figure out what they've got and react? Or are they going to actually set the pace in the draft this time around?
So for this game specifically, I felt like they just drafted what they wanted. There was some counter picks going on, obviously, but still, I don't feel like they kind of went out of their way to counter what Liquid brought to them. And Liquid was more like the team's like, okay, we're having a new plan, we're going to do this is what we're going to do. And I think that for IG, they're just going to do the same thing again. See what comes at them, maybe counter if it fits their style, but not necessarily go out of their way to do it.
Did you feel, Kevin, this was a Western draft versus a Chinese?